Hello, this is RinomXE. There are Ruby, JavaScript, and Go versions currently. There is also Slang shader versions, but those are untested. Anyway, it is a 3 or more dimensional graphics engine. It just does math. Other things will do actual graphics from it. So, let's dive in. This is all comments. Comments at start. To start, we have our variables. You'll have to use those at some point. Constructor, to get started, viewpoint, where your eyes are located, center of them, probably. View at dimensions, probably something like where your view is located, where the plane is. Actually, it's just that, where the plane is located, X, Y, and Z. Dimensions, which dimension is what, number of points you can have without increasing the buffer size, shape capacity, how many shapes you can have without increasing the buffer capacity. Next, we have add point. It's pretty simple. Just input your point, and it will automatically grow or keep it in the current buffer. Point index, that's important. It determines how many points you have now. Add shape, similar to points, and shape index is number of shapes that have been input. Shapes are basically just what indices is for points you want in an order that makes a shape. Set D points, and it has round width, which is what to round, multiplying and dividing. We'll see that later. Whether it should round at all, default to false, precision padding. That is adding and subtracting, whether it's in a range of possible being equal to or nearby. It gets constants. Viewpoint X minus view at point X, viewpoint Y minus view at point Y, view at point Z minus viewpoint Z, and then puts it into this thing, a function for 2D point. Let's look at it. To start, it checks, is this too close? As in, is it closer than view plane is to viewpoint? If it is, return a null. And if it is wrong direction, also return a null. We do not compare X, Y, and Z in this case. Is for precision equals. Let's take a look at precision equals. So basically what it does is, if it's equal, return true. If it should round, then multiply by round width, divide by round width after rounding, And if that is equal, return true. And like before, precision padding. If it's within a range, then it is equal or like equal. Default to false. After all those are passed or it's null, then we get to end. I should note that this is parametric equation. Viewpoint eyes plus point index minus viewpoint index times numbers 2, which is z, change over point z minus viewpoint z. And it is similar here, but in this case constant plus point x minus viewpoint x times another constant of z over point z minus viewpoint z. And similar here, except it's y. Next function we will consider is down here. Offset. Offset it all points 2D by whatever is input. Defaults to nothing. Also have to check, is this null? If it's null, we do nothing. Reverse X, similar stuff, except it's reversing X instead of adding or subtracting. Reverse Y, similar stuff. Set drawOrder. If it's only 1 or less, just return. Setup. We then can find a distance and a z value by shape distance. Let's look at that. Shape distance. Basically a placeholder for nothing is here. We initialize to zeros, go from end to start. If it's got a point that is null, placeholder for that, negatives. Number 0 is z, average, difference between point at index and viewpoint at index z. And numbers 1 is 2D distance from center. So points to z that index 0 squared points to the that index 1 squared. Square root of that. And we do absolute value of z over length and distance over length. Returning. So then we compare. This I almost don't need to see, but here it is. If 0 is less than other one's 0, return true. If it's greater than, false. And if they're equal, then compare number 1. If 1 of first is less than or equal to 1 of second, return true, otherwise false. Back there, 1 was distance, so z values, distance. Then this thing, which was initialized like this, set it to accordingly. 1 is before and 1 is after. Keep going and keep having this.dist set to a shape distance function. This is bounds. Basically what that is, we have lower bound of possible values 0, maximum bound of already input values. So while they're not equal, compare this current one with drawOrder of a rounded version of those bounds over 2, which averages them. If it is 1 off, indices 2 is set to indices 1. If it is not, indices 2 is set to seal of that rounded thing, sealing, and similar for indices 1. If 1 off, set to 2. If not, then 1 is set to 4 of that rounded thing. Next, compare again to that bound value. If they should be, add 1, so it's after that one, or it's before that one. Move everything that should be up 1, insert in correct index for our value, increment and decrement. That is end of this, but there's one more function. Reset. What that does is it makes our buffers start at 0 again. Now, let's see a demo. Open a terminal, Ruby. This is made in Ruby 2D, and it's lines, points, and cubes without tops, so we can see everything. Thank you for watching. All as per one might be maybe or might not be maybe. Maybe or maybe not maybe.